Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 358 Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. Weren't we just here like 2 weeks ago or something? It's been a little while. But what a perfect week though. On a week where all eyes of the dirt racing community are on the sprint car capital of the world. The Coast to Coast Racing League takes Monday Night Madness to the granddaddy of them all, the Knoxville Raceway, where they're hosting the Knoxville Nationals later this week. If you haven't been, you gotta go. It is just as cool as it looks on iRacing. We're set to go for another edition of Monday Night Madness. Our Open 358s, Rebels, and Renegades set to take shape. You get a look there for the cushion cam in turn number 2. That cam will be used up by the end of the night. We're glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. Thanks for joining us. Epic night here planned once again here. As we look at our Open 358s, as always, we begin with them, brought to you by our friends at Full Throttle Motorsports. So far, it's been a strong season for Full Throttle Motorsports. Sam Bachman was our points through going into last week, but he wasn't with us. Back with us this week after using a drop. Scott Rayome now, the new man, up on top. 374, 322, a 52-point lead on the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Again, FTM always strong here. Whenever we take these 358 modifieds, any track, whenever they run on a Monday night, always watch out for the FTM boys. Practice happening right now here off of turn number 2. And while we wait to get things going here with the practice session, the quickest guy on track, Clay Christopherson, with the Full Throttle Motorsports team. In fact, FTM 123. Putt with an 1840 at the moment. This, fun fact, this is a track that Shane Andrews wants to call a race at someday. Shane Andrews, former voice of Super Dirt Car Series and current voice of the Wheat Sports Speedway and also my good friend as well. Hey, I love to watch a big block race in Knoxville. They're fun to drive on iRacing. In fact, I scored my first big block dirt win on iRacing at this very track. So I know what it's like to win here, sort of. But good car count with us. We've got a full field set for this evening. If we do get one more entry, perhaps we will have a B main. And I'm going to guess here that we're waiting for one extra guy. So before qualifying takes place, there's a look at Mike Brewer, the Brew Crew, in the 39, getting set to run here. For those watching, by the way, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat on YouTube. And now they just finished things up, so we will have a full field 24 drivers with us this evening. Set to go here for qualifying. 2 minutes to put up your quickest lap that you can put up. And you'll see your favorite drivers pop up on the bottom of your screen. First driver we'll watch on track, the driver, the number 28, the Moose, Joe Musso, with us here this evening. Now, some of our friends are already partying at Knoxville Raceway. The Capitani Classic was last night. They've got, I believe, both Monday and Tuesday off, with the first night of qualifying happening Wednesday. And I've said for this year and last year, after I won 2023, if I'm not announcing racing, I will be at Knoxville that weekend. Joe Musso quickest, 1954. Harold Klump puts it to the top at a 1927. Kurt Schatzer, purple sector 2. He goes quick time, 19:155 for the driver of the 218. Schatzer second, Dixon third, Klump in fourth. Sam Bachman now rounds out the top 5 at 19:28. On lap number 1, 282, Trevor Giroux up to third. Brian Dickens to the top of the charts now at a 19:145. He's actually just came across the start-finish line now. The time actually just came in on a little bit of a delay. But Hammer Down Racing, they won last week with Brandon Templeton at Kokomo. They're now 1-2 here in qualifying. How about Billy Roberts on the 66, fourth quick? 19:24 for him. Kelly Wheeler, ninth quickest on lap number 1, 19:32 on his opening lap. Final seconds winding down here in qualifying. Gavin Chatham trying to get a better lap. He's green in sector 1. 22nd quick on lap number 1. A much better lap on lap 2. 16th quick, 19:48. So Brian Dickens the quickest, 100th quicker at a 19:145 here in qualifying. Beautiful sunset here at the Knoxville Raceway, and things may look a little bit different as well. I'll explain why in just a little bit, but again, everyone makes the show. We invert the top 4 before we go green for all the heat races. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Let's meet the field and give you tonight's starting lineup. This will determine our pole sitter for this evening. B-Temp on the pole. Brandon Templeton in car number 31. To his outside, it's William Watson in car 23. Row number 2, Billy Roberts in the 66. To his outside, Brian Dickens in the 122. Row number 3, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. To his outside, it's Gavin Chatham in car 99. Last time this guy was in Knoxville, it was a Nationals he wants to forget. And in fact, he's got the 358 for sale. Brendan Lacey starts 7th in the 114. And rounding out the grid, it's Bobby Good in the 7. So things look different graphic-wise here. I turned on a couple of settings to see how it would work out with the beast of the computer Trevor Giroux knows of very well. And we upped our motion blur, turned on some heat haze, increased the sharpness. I can tell you what we increased here. Motion blur, car cams, broadcast, sharpening, distortion, depth of field, and heat haze. Let us know how it looks, and if it looks a lot better, than it has in the past when we've done coast to coast. We've done in the past, I think, low blur and depth of field, if I recall correctly, but that was with the old PC before that went out on us. But we're ready. First heat race of the night. Again, everyone transfers into the show. But most importantly, the winner is on pole for the 30-lap feature here tonight in the Open 358 division. Templeton and Watson bring the field off for turn number 4. First heat race set to go down here at the Knoxville Raceway. Templeton with the race lead. Billy Roberts hops the berm in turn 3. Very easy to do in Knoxville. Got to be careful about that. Brian Dickens through the 3rd spot. Lap 1 led by Templeton in the 31. Watson trying to make a move here off in turn 2 to grab the race lead. Low side's the place to come in early, but as the feature goes, it will be the cushion up on the top, but it is going to be very risky at the same time. Templeton shuts the door there on the 23 of William Watson. Watson for the race lead. They stay door-to-door here in turn 1. Brian Dickens follows them both on board with the 122. Oh, hang on, Templeton. Oh, my goodness. The front 4 all get together, and through goes Gavin Chatham to the race lead. Templeton, I don't know how he kept the lead after getting that sideways with his 31. Lacey is 3rd. Steve Bixler now in the 4th position. The back half of the field are probably thankful right now that only 24 showed up and not 25. Lacey hanging on that 3rd spot right now in car number 114. And as Templeton remains out at the front of this pack. Here's another look off the Malcolm's replay and show you what happened. Watch the 23 and the 31. Templeton was set up the entry, came down on William Watson, just stacked up the front 4. Two laps to go in Heat 1. Templeton still leads by just about a half second on Gavin Chatham. Him and Brennan Lacey each start in the back of the field here for this heat race, and they have taken advantage of it. It's paid off with Watson and Dickens getting together. Billy Roberts even being involved in that accident. Still trying to race Bobby Good for 5th. The front 6, I should say, all nose to tail still for the race lead here. But keeping a close eye, though, on this race for the win in Heat 1 and for the pole. Believe, if I recall correctly, Templeton started on pole position last week in his win at Kokomo. And he did. Started pole, looking to get back-to-back poles here in the Open 358s, and he did. Checker's already out. I got too excited there at the end. Chatham 2nd, Lacey 3rd, Bixler 4th, DeGood 5th, Roberts, Watson, and company on back. That's how they looked for heat race number 1. Let's move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection, proud partner of Venom Racing in the Coast to Coast Racing League. The Brew Crew, Mike Brewer on pole position in the 39 to his outside. Sam Bachman, the Sam Maconda in the 007. Row number 2, the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011 to his outside. The Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 3, you've got Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5 to his outside. The Brood to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Final row this evening, Bud Molyneux in the 883. And Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rayom in the 4, current points leader. Jason Butterfield checking in. How are you tonight, Butters? Doing well? Can't even. I don't even. Are you rain tonight? I don't even know if I saw your name on the roster this evening. Nope, he's not. He's playing Spectre. He's playing crewman tonight. That's what he's doing. Ready for the green here for heat race number 2. Winner starts at the outside of the front row. Next to Brandon Templeton for the feature. Kurt Schatzer would like to make it an all hammer down front row. Green flag waves. Here we go for heat 2. Three wide for third. Randall Dixon stuck in the middle here off the corner. Bachman trying to grab the race lead though for Mike Brewer. Tough entry into turn 3 for Isaac Salas. Puts him down to the 5th spot. Lap 1 led by Brewer. Schatzer still trying to get that 3rd spot from Randall Dixon off for turn 2. They stay wheel to wheel. Does Schatzer send it deep? He does. And he hip checks Randall Dixon. Both of them go up the hill and Dixon eats Schatzer again. A little bit of disappreciation for that. Rayom, I don't know if he had some contact in that, but not able to take big advantage of it. He only passes Dixon there for the 7th spot. So that puts Isaac Salas now up into the 3rd spot. While the top 2 have checked out. Bachman trying to take the race lead from his FTM teammate. Right on board for a lap here with the Samaconda. Over 100 miles an hour into the corner. With 3.5 laps of race to go here in the heat race. Let's go further back, side by side for a spot here. This is Molyneux and Schatzer off in turn 2. We're a little bit sideways there for a moment. Slide job by Superman. Molyneux easily with the counter back. You saw the sparks fly there as they rubbed Nerf bars. Molyneux takes away the 5th spot. Schatzer drops down to 6th, side by side. Dixon and Rayom in the back. Schatzer trying everything to send it after the contact with Dixon. White flag waves. Final lap here in Heat 2 for Mike Brewer. It's an FTM 1-2 battle here. Samaconda trying to steal it and start on the front row. It will be an FTM car on the front row. Is it Brewer or is it Bachman? Brewer goes in a little bit deep. That helps him out here off the corner. Checkers wave. Mike Brewer, your Heat 2 winner. Bachman in 2nd. Salas 3rd. Barker 4th. Schatzer 5th. Molyneux 6th. Rayom 7th. And Dixon 8th. Moving on to our final heat race of the night, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. And on the pole, Logan Wentz. In the 118, starts on the pole to his outside. It's Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row number 2, the 2 of Harold Klump, and a big congratulations to this man starting in 4th. Ladies, he's married. In the 075, newlywed. Trevor Giroux, the Philly Flyer. Congratulations to him. I heard it was a big party. Reception full of maple syrup gifts. Row number 3, Joe Musso in car number 28 to his outside. Making his Monday Night Madness debut. That's Ryan Elzey in the number 27. And the final row has the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in car 39. And putt-putt Clay Christopherson in the 51. Butchie Baker checking in. What's up, Butch? Rooting for Isaac, and it's very glad to see him back. Hey, glad to see a lot of the Venom Racing guys back. Isaac back. We saw Lawson back. Molyneux's been pretty much the main Venom driver for this team in the last few months or so. Green flag set to wave here. Final heat race of the night for the Open 358s. Here we go. Good start for Logan Wentz there over Kelly Wheeler. Giroux and Klump get side by side for third. They're deadlocked into turn 3. Lap number 1 led by Wentz. 3 wide for the 5th spot. Joe Musso stuck in the middle. Elsie up top. Christopherson on the bottom. This could get dangerous here down the back. And they are having a mosh-posh battle there for a spot. Wheeler looked underneath there on Logan Wentz for the race lead moments ago. Could not get the pass, though, to stick. Drew trying to see if he can get a good look at the 3rd spot. Still watching in the back of this field. Christopherson, who was quickest in practice, not making too many moves up in the back and up towards the front of the field. Here comes Giroux once again. Looking to grab the 2nd spot from Kelly Wheeler off in turn 4, but Kelly clears him. Wentz quickest car on track, 1942 last lap. This time by, who's the quickest? 1947 by Trevor Giroux. Not the quickest lap of this race, though. Here goes the Philly Flyer, trying to grab 2nd. 2 to go in Heat 3. Winner starts inside row 2 here tonight. Top 3 all under a blanket as Harold Klump tries to get into the thick of things as well. White flag waves. Final lap here in Heat 1 for Logan Wentz. Oh, Wentz nearly bite the cushion there in turn 1. Klump in 4th. Quickest car on the racetrack. This one's far from over. Wheeler trying a different line here. Up the hill goes Logan Wentz. Kelly Wheeler, I don't think we'll have anything off at turn number 4. Logan Wentz, your winner in Heat 3. Wheeler 2nd, Giroux in 3rd, Klump 4th, Christopherson 5th, Elsie 6th, Spangler 7th, and Musso in 8th. We'll step aside here and take a break. We're under the lights. When we come back, first feature on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups in Knoxville go quicker than we normally think. Brian Dickens currently quickest here in warm-ups, 19.360. William Watson second, and Trevor Giroux third, each with a 19.38. Billy Roberts fourth, 19.39, and Kelly Wheeler fifth at a 19.41. Butchie needs a new machine soon to get back out there. Got to put the FTM boys back in their place. Best rivalry in the modifieds. And yes, indeed, congratulations to Trevor Giroux. So with that, we're ready for feature time. Let's meet the field and give you tonight's starting lineup for our 30-lap feature. On the pole, let's beat up Brandon Templeton in car number 31. To his outside, it's the Brew Crew, Mike Brewer in the 39. Row number 2, Logan Wentz in the 118, and Gavin Chatham next to him in the 99. Row 3, Sam Bachman in the 007. To his outside, it's Callie Wheeler in the 110. And in row 4, Brendan Lacey, the low-line master, in the 114. To his outside, it's Isaac Salas, slide job in the 5. Rounding out the top 10, it's Trevor Giroux, the Philly Flyer in the 075, and the Mayor, Steve Bixler, in the 75. Row 6, the Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Harold Klump in car number 2. Row number 7, Bob D. Good in the 7. Next to him, it's Kurt Schatzer, Superman, the 218. Row 8, Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. He's next to Billy Roberts in the 66. Row 9, Bud Molyneux in the 883. Next to him, Ryan Elzey in the 27. Row number 10, Brian Dickens in the 122. To his outside, slide job Scott Riom in the 4. Final 2 rows, you've got Patrick Spangler inside row 11 next to William Watson in the 23. Final cars on the grid, Randall Dixon, the Bandit in the 11, and Joe Musso in the 28. So that is how the field lines up here, as we are one lap away from getting the green flag here tonight. Pick to win here for me this evening. I'm going to go with the Brew Crew, Mike Brewer himself, starting from second. But a full field here with us this evening at Knoxville. 24 drivers checking in, no B main needed. Brandon Templeton, Mike Brewer set to bring us to the green flag. Steve King Foundation pace car makes the left-hand turn onto pit road right now. Barney's got the green flag in hand. First time tonight that it is time to shake and bake. Templeton back-to-back poles, looking for back-to-back wins. It's time to get it on. Three wide off for turn 2 in the flatline racing bodies. Green flag. Wentz and Brewer get side by side. Wentz no choice but to lift. They come off for turn 4. First lap led by Brandon Templeton. Mike Brewer all over him. Wentz and Bachman, good race for third. 2 by 2 off for turn 2. Kevin Chatham also trying to gain some spots there in car number 99. Here comes Brewer looking for that race lead on the 31. On board with Brewer in that Bicknell 39. Let's see where he can propel himself on corner exit. Hoping Templeton gets a little wide possibly through the corners. But yeah, you can see where it's slick here in Knoxville when trying to run a groove above the shiny stuff. Wentz is checked out in the 3rd spot. Here comes Brewer for the race lead. Nearly got side by side with them. Now tries to diamond 3 and 4. See if he can set that up a little bit better. Can't. Templeton hanging on for right now. First side by side race, you got Brendan Lacey, Isaac Salas. Trying to get 3 wide with Callie Wheeler. Good race for 7th. And Lacey now wants the 6th spot. Oh, trouble in the back, I believe. Oh, look at this. Club, Roberts, Molyneux, Spangler, the 27 of Elsie. No caution somehow. I don't get that. Now it's out. It takes the lap with Brandon Templeton, your race leader. But I believe this all started when Ryan Elsie in the 27 car got turned. Take a look at the replay, show you what happened. Oh no, this starts in front with Harold Klump. He got yeeted from behind. Let's watch another angle. That's Roberts behind Klump. Oh yeah, just a little bit of a big rack 'em stack 'em attack. It was just one of those bumper car type things, some hard racing situations. This is on board with Ryan Elsie. On board here with Patrick Spangler. Thought he had a hole that he could miss it in, but nowhere to go. Behind Spangler was Randall Dixon. Let's go Harold Klump in car number 2. Nearly got upside down there. I think that was off of Bob DeGodu, nearly forced him for a wild ride. And the lights are off, set to go green flag, our first restart of the evening. Brandon Templeton, Mike Brewer, row 1. Logan Wentz, Gavin Chatham, row 2. Sam Bachman, Kelly Wheeler, row 3. Top 6 spots unchanged. Isaac Salas, Brennan Lacey, row 4. Steve Bixler, Trevor Giroux, and I believe, where's the guy in the 5th row there? Steve Bixler round out the top 10. They weren't tightened up there on that restart. Nobody, though, I don't believe nobody was trying to brake check or anything like that. We're back to the green flag, 3 wide. Isaac Salas stuck in the middle off at turn 2. That was Gavin Chatham on his outside. Trevor Giroux riding the berm, loses some speed in corner entry. Templeton continues to lead. Big gaggle in the center of 1 and 2. Mike Brewer, meanwhile, just lost a spot to Logan Wentz in the 018. Chatham 4th, Bachman Salas. They're side by side for 5th. And both of them try to go low. Meanwhile, Brewer stacked up there from Logan Wentz. FTM 2, 3, 4, 5. All losing to Brandon Templeton in the 6th spot. Salas trying to get a run here in the 5 car. On board with him. Oh, look at him up on the cushion there. That was a perfect 1 and 2 from Isaac Salas. Nearly got it to stick. I think, though, if Chatham wasn't right there, he could have made it work there. And a drag race off for turn 4. Brewer trying to get the 2 spot back, but it's Wentz to the line for 2nd. Here's the slider by Brewer. Can he clear here? Not yet. Hang on. Bachman to the wall. Salas eats him there. Kelly Wheeler stacked up. Lacey no steering up in the wall. Right front is damage off the 14. That should bring the caution flag out. It does. Just another stack up there once again. And Brennan Lacey's the one that pays the price. Bachman catches the wall. Salas in front of him. And man, that could have gotten worse for wear. But luckily, nobody spun out and Lacey catches the worst of it. Unfortunately, he may be the one that will have to call 1-800-U-SLOW. It was just that hard impact in the wall that broke the steering. It wasn't the first impact with that car. Mr. Goose himself, Chad Cote checking in. Good to see you in the chat. Says it's a pleasure to hear your voice again. Well, good to see you in the chat. Believe. Yep, it was confirmed. Lacey did jump to the pits, so he could get that car repaired. And that may trap him a lap down in the rest of this one. Double file restart. We're going to watch this from our aerial shot. Field's off at turn 2 right now. Templeton Wentz, row 1. Brewer, Chatham, row 2. Bachman, Salas, Giroux, Christofferson, Schatzer, and William Watson. That's the top 10. Templeton fires. We're back to green. In the back, Schatzer in the middle. Top 2, top 3 now all cleared. Wentz in third. Side by side for fourth. Bachman and Chatham. Still 3 wide further back. Trevor Giroux trying to get some runs. And how about Clay Christofferson? A tough start to this one. It came to his heat race. Ooh, hang on, Salas. He nearly biked it. You saw the rear end chatter. Off for turn 2. Right front now bent off the 5. So he's trying to hang on to that car for dear life. Christofferson put up 9 spots. Bachman wanting 4th here off of turn 2 from Chatham. Takes that spot away. Let's go to 2nd. We're able to clear Logan Wentz for right now. We're halfway home. 15 up, 15 down. Gary Sigelkow also checking in here in the chat, rooting for Salas. 99-51 car. The 2 teammates racing for 5th. So it's FTM 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as things were to stand. And give credit for the way Putt-Putt's rocking that low line. Oh, look at this. We nearly went 4 wide off for turn 2. William Watson trying to make some moves. He started back in 22nd, and he's running in 8th right now. What a charge from Watson in the 23. He got into Salas and turns him. And Watson gets collected. Same with Brian Dickens. Caution flag waves. Oh, Molyneux up in the air in the 883. Oh, man, what a shame that was. Salas working on a very good run. Gets yeeted in turn 1. You know, I love to watch the aerial shot because Schatzer may have gotten to the back of Watson. Dixon caught a piece of that too. Let's watch aerial shot. Now, does Schatzer catch Watson here? Nope, that was all Watson. Going to save as well by the 23 car, too. Let's take a ride on board here. First off with Salas. Let's go Randall Dixon hanging out in the back of the pack here. Bud Molyneux with the 883. Look how close he gets to going over. And we're already just like that back to the green flag. And man, that's a wild ride. back to the green. Single file rest of this race. Templeton is checked out from Wentz and Brewer. The Brew crew looking for second. Slide job by Mike, and he takes it away. Logan Wentz tries the crisscross, and Wentz is second at the line. Sam Bachman tries to make it a three-man horse race in turn one. Putt Christopherson wants to turn to a fatal four-way. 3 wide down the back. Brewer, nice corner exit there. But Bachman challenging on his inside. The FTM guys, as much as they want to race, I don't think they want to race each other because Templeton is gone. His lead at 1.4 seconds with 10 to go. And that may be the biggest lead of the night so far. William Watson now running in 6th position. Can he get past Gavin Chatham with a 99? You bet he can. FTM 2 through 7. You got a Hammer Down racing car leading, then FTM 2 through 7. Then you've got 2 Hammer Down cars 8 through 9, FTM in 10 and 11. The Independents 12th and 13th. But this man, what a lead, 2 seconds, quickest car on the day so far. Wentz way too high. Christopherson from 15th to 2nd. Slide job there. Christopherson right now way under par at the way over. I know they say under par like, you know what I mean. Under par being like something's not cooked properly, but this time like he's playing an incredible golf game for right now. 6 laps to go. Puppa tries to throw it in. Wentz up in the wall. My goodness, look at the racing here in Knoxville by the FTM drivers putting on a great show. Ooh, Christopherson trying to clear his teammate, and he nearly put Logan Wentz up on the wall. But this, you got Watson up 16, Christopherson up 13, up 12 is Dickens, 11 Musso, and 10 is Scott Rayome. Battle for second once again off of turn 4. 4 laps of racing remain. Low line again, the place to be at the moment. And Christopherson commanding the FTM troops here with 3 laps remaining. And again, William Watson now in 5th, biggest mover from 22nd in the back to a top 5 spot. Great run for him, but this man is dominated this race so far from pole. We know how good he is at these small tracks, but at the big tracks we expected an FTM slaughterhouse. However, whatever Templeton has found lately as he kisses the wall off for turn 2, it is working very, very well. White flag flies, final lap underway. He can't miss any more races the rest of the year if he wants to contend for a championship. This one will make sure he's a championship contender. He won at Kokomo last week. Beats up your winner at Knoxville. Christopherson second. A 3-wide photo for third. Bachman, then Wentz, then William Watson. Couple of lights, nice little dodos from Templeton as he tries to crack the code here to Casey's victory lane. Got it! Look at that! He'll go there while second and third stuck in the background. So here are the way your results here look from tonight. Templeton wins by 2.2 seconds over the FTM crew. I think they're trying to get Templeton to back out so he could get in the podium shot. Nah, he can't. Eh, Barker probably got a good shot anyway, so. Just waiting for the top three to come in. And then we'll get to the ceremonies. Again, Rebels coming up next here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Clay Christopherson is ready to go. All right, we got them all in. So we'll begin with the Sam McConnell. Let's see what the sound effect is today. Same one as last week. Sam Bachman, our third place finisher. Man, Sam, what a race you and the FTM guys put on. That was a show, but unfortunately it was a show for second.
Oh yeah, you can never complain again. For second or third here, it's a good group of guys, so it's pretty good racing though. Felt like out there.
We missed you last week. Where were you last week?
I think you know.
I think I do too. So, but anyway, other than that, what other positives do you take away?
It's pretty good track. Felt like you could kind of run anywhere. You could run the top or the bottom, but just felt a little better for me on the bottom in one and two, and kind of rolled through the middle in three and four. But it was a pretty good race.
Well, who do I give shout outs to before we let you go?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Marty, you for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, man. Appreciate the time. Great job tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
Sam Bachman finishing third here this evening. Let's go to P2 and talk with Putt Putt Clay Christopherson. Man, what a drive, Clay. 15th to 2nd. How'd you do it?
Rolling the bottom where nobody was.
Yeah, you know, like Knoxville's normally known for, obviously, as we know, starting low, then you want to be on the high side. But did you have a setup really set up for the bottom, though?
I kind of had it. The most I was going to probably move up would be top middle. I didn't plan on running against the wall or anything. So I put a lot lower of a gear, but I usually do just to keep the RPMs low so they're not spinning. And here in one and two, I mean, I was able to throw it in so hard coming into one on the bottom, and then three and four pretty much just turned left and let the car roll. And no, it felt really good. One and two is pretty much my passing corner, I think.
Was it tough to pass in the heat race from your perspective?
Very, because you would get a good drive on the bottom, but they would get a good drive on the top or even a better drive. So you'd come out bumper to bumper almost every time, and you kind of had to wait for them to mess up, or hopefully you didn't mess up. And that's kind of how the feature was too for the first half. It was very patience.
Well, a great run for you tonight. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You guys for putting this on, all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block sets.
Alrighty. We'll let you go. Great job tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you later on.
Thank you, sir.
Clay Christopherson, your second place finisher. As we head to victory lane, Brandon Templeton, we may have to change your nickname from B-Temp to the FTM Slayer. What a drive tonight.
Yeah, we'll take it. I didn't think I had any speed at all early in the night. I missed qualifying, and like in warm-ups, I was like 10th quick or something like that, given everything I had. And then when the feature came in, it slicked off a little. It just started coming in.
What improvements do you feel you have made lately, since this is now back-to-back wins for you?
Yeah, just patience, trying to wait for the race to come to me instead of trying to force things when you're behind people. I guess I haven't been behind a lot of people, but it's worked out. I guess that's part of it too, is luck of the draw sometimes.
Take me through the car and where you felt you were better at than everyone else.
Well, early in the race, when I started running the slider in 1 and 2, it felt like I was looking back in the mirror, and I started pulling away doing that. But then, like, in the end, I know Christopherson, some of those guys were crawling the bottom and doing some different things, and it was fun at least to have different lines, but they were coming.
Who do I give shout outs to on this run?
And I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank. everything he does to support us. Everybody with Hammer Down Motorsport, Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, Brian. Brian had us on an awesome setup tonight on rails once it slicked off. Full Throttle Motorsports, thanks for sponsoring tonight's series, and everyone watching at home, thanks to them. Thanks to you, Marty, for putting on an awesome show, and hopefully we'll watch some Oski sprint racing down the front stretch tonight.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the win, and back-to-back for you. Good luck later on tonight.
Thank you.
Brandon Templeton, your winner here this evening in Open 358. We're going to step aside, head to break. When we come back, Rebels of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love. It was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we continue on Rebels action. Rebels brought to you by our friends at the Salty Dogs race team, and we got some that have shown up here this evening for our race. Gives us a chance as we look overhead from Knoxville. By the way, we're trying some new graphic settings out here. Let us know what you think of them in the chat below if you enjoy them during our Open 358 races. Hopefully they look a lot better because of the speed with the sprint cars around Knoxville. But great race we had last week in the Rebels division. It was Chad Griggs in a great, really, really good battle for the race win late in the going. Griggs running second, and in the end took advantage of a Sam Bachman mistake and scored the victory in the closing laps. So ready to go here. Qualifying already underway here at Knoxville. Watch your favorite drivers here on screen as they pull up. First driver will watch the driver of the number 4, that being Greg Parmerly. .360 Nationals happening earlier this weekend. Big congrats to Rico Abreu taking the win, passing Kyle Larson late. Greg Parmalee quickest. As I say that, Gary Alford to the top of the charts, 15.714 in lap 1. Gavin Chatham, quick time for him. Purple sector 1, 15.830 or 15.630 for the driver, the number 99. Mike Watson just came across the start-finish line. Roger Craig, the Bassman, 9th quickest in 7:47. 15:83. Big CJ Country fan, by the way, listening to me middays. I saw the message, Roger, that you sent in. Appreciate you and the G-Man for the support. I believe G-Man's Gary Taylor. But yeah, if you want to listen to me, by the way, for those that don't know, I'm a midday DJ at a local country radio station, small town radio station. But if you're not in my neck of the woods, download the CJ Country app, just as it sounds, CJ Country. Free for Apple devices and Android devices, and you can listen to us anywhere, anytime. So middays 10 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday, and then I'm on Saturdays as well, 2 to 6 p.m. What a Knoxville sunset. They're known for their sunsets here at Knoxville. Dean Reynolds, if you're watching, you would agree with me 100%. 2 heats this evening for our Rebels division. And we're ready for heat race number 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. As Chris Schaefer is on the pole next to Greg Parmalee. That's row number 1. Row 2, Ted York, the 009, to his outside. Gavin Chatham in car 99. The third row this evening, Kale Bixler in the 789. To his outside, it's Doc Watson. Mike himself in the 006. Final row for Heat 1, Slide Job Scotty, Scott Riom in car 4. And Chad Griggs in the 27. Gary Sigelkow, by the way, was checking in earlier in that race. Had a lot of fun first race here. Ryan, is that you? Check it in the chat. Inks, am I pronouncing your YouTube channel name correct? I believe that's Ryan Elzy, if he's saying first race here. Ron was checking in too, rooting for Mike Brewer. One lap till we take the green flag here. Winner starts on pole. Everyone transfers here this evening. Ready to go racing here with the sprint cars at Knoxville. Off of turn 4, Schaefer Parmalee set to bring us to green. Heat 1 underway. Good start for Chris Schaefer. Gavin Chatham underneath, trying to grab the second spot here. Off of turn 4, lap 1 led by Schaefer. Chatham, does he throw the slide job here for the second spot? Unable to do so there. Parmalee around the outside, hanging on, defending P2 for right now. Gavin Chatham trying to grab a run. He puts the slider there on Parmalee, and the 4-car counters back, and they nearly... Oh! They do touch. Chatham hanging on to it. What a save! That could have gotten ugly. And now Teddy York follows the draft of the 99 of Chatham on board with him off of turn 2. Good entry there for the 99. Field mostly single file. Chris Schaefer starting on pole. Quickest in heat race number 1. So far to 15:77. Not a lot of passing going on early just yet. Chatham and Watson are the only ones to make the 2 passes for right now. And now Chatham tries to throw a slider at Parmalee. He knows the way Parmalee's racing them, so Chatham's going to try and do it again. Going to keep it very close here off for turn 4. 2 to go in heat race number 1. Both of them sent it in there through turn 1. Let's see if Chatham can get a run going here. Final lap underway while Schaefer is long gone. All eyes on the race for second. Chatham trying to get a good corner exit to set up turns 3 and 4. Parmalee defending the bottom. Chatham working the top shelf. Good slider from Parmalee. Chatham trying to counter it back. You know who's going to win heat 1 at Schaefer. Parmalee, though, edges out Chatham at the line for second. York in 4th as he spins out. Watson 5th. Rayholm 6th and Bixler 7th. What's the radio app again, Ron? It's called CJ Country. I'm going to type it in chat right now for you guys. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm not going to type it in just yet. I got to switch accounts here. I'm on my Tuesday night account for broadcasting. On my YouTube end right now. There we go. I just posted it in chat for you guys. Race Your Race says, race your race, get 'em. Indeed. You got to race your own race. All right, preparing for heat race number 2, final heat race. Brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Determining the outside rows here this evening. Jeff Kemper on pole in the number 181. To his outside, it's the Moose, Joe Musso in car 28. Row 2, Isaac Bowman. He's racing in the 9 this evening. To his outside, Gary Offutt in the 94. The third row, the best man, Roger Craig in the 747. To his outside, the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman in the 007. Final car on the grid this evening, it's the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Field is set to go green, 8 laps in heat race number 2. Kemper and Musso will bring us here to the green flag once again.
Green, green, green.
Kemper off to a good start. Musso and Bowman wing to wing for second here into turn 3. Kemper leads the opening lap as Bowman edges out Musso at the line for the second spot. Bowman tries to throw her in deep, but Musso coming out with the edge. Craig and Offutt side by side as well. That's the race for 4. Oh, hang on! Big impact for Musso in the wall. He'll start for the back this evening. Man, that was a lick he took. I don't know if there was contact off of Isaac Bowman or what. We'll grab a replay in just a moment. Gary Offutt going for second. Slide jobs Isaac Bowman. The 9 car able to cross over and hang on to 4th for right now. So watch how this race plays out here into turn 1. Another slider from Gary Offutt. Roger Craig tries to join the battle here too. Wow, Jeff Kemper trying to pull away. Gary Offutt though up on the wall, the 94. Lost a triple threat there of spots. And now the best man wants second here. What a run by Roger. I believe his first points race in a little while here. Came back with us in Knoxville, and there was the hip check by Isaac Bowman. Trying to throw that slider there on the Moose, and it just didn't work out. 1.5 laps remaining here in heat race number 2. Bowman throws it in on Roger. Roger aware of the lane here. The Bassman counters it back, 1 to go. Oh, man. As much as I'm a big fan of Bowman's Casey Kane ride, I think y'all know I want to see Roger finish second. Can the Salty Dog take it in the end from Isaac Bowman? Checkers wave here at the line. Bowman edges out Roger Craig. Kemper, your winner. Taylor 4th, Offutt 5th, Bachman 6th, and Musso 7th. But a great drive for the driver. That's 747. So with that, that'll do it for heat races here this evening. We'll take a break here. When we come back, feature time for the Rebels of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Set to go here as warm-ups are wrapping up. Gavin Chatham quickest, 16:03. Chad Griggs second, 16:22. Cale Bixler third, 16:25. Greg Parbley fourth, 16:26. Chris Schaefer and Teddy York each with a 16:31. Crowd continuing to show up here for the Knoxville Nationals. So we are ready to go here for our Rebels feature this evening. Let's give you tonight's starting lineup for the 38-lap feature. Chris Schaefer on the pole in car number 19. To his outside, it's the 181 of Jeff Kemper. Row 2, Greg Parmalee. Racing in car number 4. To his outside, Isaac Bowman in the 9. The third row, Gavin Chatham in the 99. To his outside, the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747. Row 4, Ted York in the 09. To his outside, the captain, Gary Taylor, in the 34. Riding out the top 10, Mike Watson in the 006 and Gary Offut in the 94. Row number 6, Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rioma in the 4, and the Sam Maconda, Sam Bachman, the 007. Final 3 cars of the grid tonight, the Sarge, Cale Bixler, the 789, the Moose, Joe Musso in the 28, and Chad Griggs in the 27. So Greg's going to do a back-to-front challenge here this evening, basically. Nice start here for Schaefer this evening on the pole position. I believe his 4th ever pole in Rebels action. Field down the back chute. We've got 15 drivers set to take the green. 30 laps. Remember, top 5 move into the Renegades pending IL. Field making their way off for turn 4. Barney with the green in hand. Second time tonight that it is time to shake and bake. Schaefer and Kemper bring us the green. Time to get it on again in Knoxville. Good start for Schaefer in the 19. Kemper running second. Kemper third. 3 wide for the 4th spot. Greg Parmalee stuck in the middle. Gavin Chatham, Roger Craig, each gate pass. Hang on there, Greg, off the bumper of Craig and Ted York. Both of them able to save it. Race for second, meanwhile, on. Gavin Chatham, Jeffrey Kemper a wing to wing in turn 3. Chatham, nice spot off in turn 4, rolling on the bottom, lot like how Christofferson did in the Open 358 feature. And now Chatham wants the race lead from Chris Schaefer. Wastes no time. Hit the easy button. Gavin Chatham to the race lead.
That was easy.
So Chatham with a 15.98 out to the point. Race for the 3rd spot. Bowman trying to take that away from Jeff Kemper in the 181. He does, wasting no time. The race for 5th is a wild one. Ted York, Roger Craig, Gary Taylor, all trying to grab the final spot in the Renegades field pending IL. Big hello, by the way, Megan checking in the chat. Oh, Taylor up on the wall, able to hang on to it. Megan, I hope you're keeping good track of Buddy tonight. Taylor just trying to hang on to that car at the moment. Bachman, oh, they touch wheels there, and the captain strikes the wall pretty good. How's the steering? Oh, we got wheel stand in the back hill, Bixler. And he's lost the steering, he's done. He is done. I don't know how that was caused. I think it was from Scott Rayoma the 4 with some contact. That'll bring the first caution flag out. So Gavin Chatham, your race leader here. So look at what happened. There's that contact. And look at the wheel stands there. Musso does one, Kale does one. Over with Frayome. Just tried to miss it. And caught the wall. Set for the restart here. 7 laps are complete. Chatham and Schaefer row 1. Bowman Kemper row 2. Ted York rounds out the top 5. Craig Watson, Greg Bachman off it all behind. We're back to green. Oh, we got one right at the wall. That was, again, Rayome. Gary Taylor goes around. The right front is gone off of Rayome. He'll put it in the infield and park it for the night. But they are all scattering around this racetrack, racing for spots. Schaefer hanging on to 3rd. Jeff Kemper down to 4th. Ted York up to the final transfer spot in the 5th position. Here comes Sam Bachman from 12th to 6th. Didn't have the best start on the evening. He's made a great charge right now after some rugs. Hang on, Roger Craig. Hip check there off of Watson. Bikes it and saves it. Great driving by the 747. Jeff Kemper trying to grab the 3rd spot back from Chris Schaefer. Both of them share the front row. Bachman, ooh, off the wall with the right rear. We'll see with Watson as well. Lost a lot of speed. Here comes York in that 09. And here comes as well this man, Chad Griggs, who stole the win from Sam Bachman last week at Kokomo. And he's running the low line, and it's working well. And there goes Bachman around the 07. And we got one upside down. That's Roger Craig off for Joe Musso. Man, we got a lot to clean up here. Let's watch what happened first off with Gary Taylor and Scott Realm. That may have actually saved Sam Bachman. If they don't count that as a spin, Bachman will be able to retain his spot. Taylor just loses it. He saw Realm with nowhere to go. Now let's watch what happened here. This is with Bachman. He just touches the tire there. But then this also happens further back. What causes this? Roger Craig just catches Joe Musso, and up in the air goes the Bassman on his lid. Lights are off. We'll go green next time by. So Gavin Chedham, Isaac Bowman, row 1. Chris Schaefer, Jeff Kemper, row 2. Ted York, Chad Griggs, row 3. Mike Watson, Joe Musso, row 4. Gary Offit, Kale Bixler round out the top 10. We'll watch for the aerial shot as we get ready to come back to the green flag with 12 laps complete.
Green flag, green flag.
Watch Isaac Bowman here in the 9. But Chedham able to hold serve. 3 wide for 3rd. Caution waves Gary Taylor. I mean, Scott Rayo may have crashed as well. Ooh, Taylor heavy in the wall. Wheel stand. Look at the right rear and the right front. Both are heavily damaged. Both bent. Then we had this as well with Scott Rayome. I was just slipping it. Didn't like the way how the car was driving. Gary was just trying to keep digging. So we'll go single file here rest of this race as we've done both of our double file restarts already. So we'll try and get back to green flag here once again. Bowman trying to look underneath here on this restart. We're back to green. Chatham riding the wall there in turn 2. Bowman hanging on to second. And Chad Griggs is up to 4th, continuing that back to front challenge. Ooh, Griggs nearly gets sideways there in turn 1. They try and counter it back here through 3 and 4. Well, further back, Sam Bachman trying to recover after his spin. And we're back to 3rd. Griggs around the outside. A little kiss to the wall there for the 27. Schaefer tried the slide job, but Griggs right there. Ooh, slider from Schaefer. Griggs reads it perfectly and counters it back. Slide job city perhaps here. Here we go again for Schaefer. Another slider. Griggs with the counter back. Ooh, in the wall there. I believe that was Ted York of the 09. Schaefer with damage. Caution flag waves here. We got Cale Bixler around. Look at what happened. Off the 94, just lost it, and around he goes. Should be 1 to green here with 12 laps to go. So we'll come back to green this time by Chatham fires. Here we go again. Chatham holds serve on the restart. First side-by-side battle for 4th. Schaefer trying to hang on over Kemper. Ooh, Bachman bikes it there in turn 3. Gonna hang on to it. Mike Watson trying to grab a spot in the top 5, a qualifying spot for Renegades possibly. Ooh, that is tight between Kemper and Schaefer. And that nearly got dangerous. York trying to thread the needle here. Here comes Bachman. Any ballpark that he's done. Either that or it was 12X for the 007. That may have been it. Have to double check on that. On board with Ted York in the 6th spot. He's the first one out for right now. Great battle here on track for fourth. 8 laps of racing to go. Chad Griggs trying to get the second spot. Hang on there, Teddy. Really sideways there, and Watson nearly gets the wall in 3. Oh, that's a hard luck there. Gary off of, I believe, Joe Musso. Are you kidding me? How in the hell did he keep that straight? Pull her to a stop and tow this one back. If not, the caution flag's going to fly. Nope, Offen's going to get on the berm and keep it green. Great to see. And now we watch the race for 5th. York off at turn 4, wing doing with Kemper. York trying to clear on Kemper. York using that cushion off for turn 2. 4 laps to go. And he's got that 5th position for right now. Meanwhile, still Gavin Chatham with 3 laps to go. A 1.5 second lead on Isaac Bowman. Took the lead over Chris Schaefer early in this one. Teddy York, Chris Schaefer still battling for 5th here. Doc Watson trying to get in this too. White flag meanwhile waves. Final lap underway here. Making his way through 3 and 4. Checkers wave. Gavin Chatham, your winner in Rebels tonight in Knoxville. Bowman 2nd, Griggs 3rd, York 4th, Kemper 5th. So York and Kemper each get the final spots in. There are your results there. Again, top 5 in the show. And we'll talk with your top 3 in just a matter of moments. We'll start with our race winner here this evening, Gavin Chatham, as we wait for Chad Griggs. Gavin, great win for you tonight. Take me through that pass for the win on, I believe it was Chris early in the race.
Yeah, right in the hot lap session, I found the bottom was working really well, and I didn't really think too many people were going to run it, so I just was pretty committed to the bottom there, and the car stuck really, really good. And luckily no one ran the bottom, and I was able to just have basically a clear racetrack and just was able to get up to the lead there. The car felt really good though. It was nice to be in this session just to, or this race, I should say, get a little test and tune up coming up for the Renegades race here. But all in all, the car felt really good. Kind of everything kind of fell our way, and no one was running the bottom. We were able to pass them, and then the lines started moving around a little bit, and I'm sure the lines are going to definitely move around a lot more in the Renegades tonight, so it should be a good race.
Who do I give shout-outs to?
I just want to thank you, Marty, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing, all the sponsors, admin, everybody behind the scenes that puts this league on, allows us to come out here and put on some good racing. I just want to thank FTM Full Throttle Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsport Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Super Dirt Car Series, Vertex Graphics, Chatham Motorsports. I'm forgetting somebody. Swan Speed Shops. I want to thank all the sponsors for all the help. I hope we get on the team, and I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watch these races. I hope we put on a good show for y'all, and and I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and watching races.
All right, appreciate it, Gavin. Congratulations on a great win tonight.
All right, thanks, Marty.
So, Chatham, your winner. Let's head to the second place finisher, that being Isaac Bowman. Isaac, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe your best finish in Rebels, correct?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
I think I got you too.
Yep, all right, perfect. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is your best finish in Rebels, correct?
That would be correct.
Alrighty, man. Take me through this race from your perspective, and how'd you feel about your car?
Felt pretty good. Got beat down low to start the race by the 99. Tried to follow him for a while, then it got too slick, just kind of moved up. Cushion got pretty tight and pretty technical, and just tried to hammer down, catch my way back up, but just never happened.
Who do I give shout-outs to on the run?
Tyler Bowman, Sim Sports, and just all the boys there, just having a blast.
Alrighty, man. Hey, we'll let you go. Great talking with you. You gonna run Renegades tonight?
I'm not sure. I might look where Oski's at, but if they haven't started, I'll definitely join in.
All right, sounds good. Hey, great run, though, regardless, tonight.
Thank you.
And let's go to our third place finisher here, Chad Griggs. Chad, I want you to confirm this for me. Were you trying a back-to-front challenge tonight?
No. My PC decided that's what was going to happen. I didn't.
Oh,
I got
no.
in and I was having a whole lot of PC issues, and I didn't even get to turn a lap, didn't get to run my heat race, didn't get to qualify, and barely got back in before the feature, so that stuck me in the back. And then I was like, well, let's just try I wanted to try a really wonky setup to see how it would work on the bottom, and didn't really do what I thought that it was going to do, but all I really wanted to do was hopefully get in the top 5 and be able to run Renegades if I can go ahead and get my PC issues fixed before we run.
That's definitely a tough break for sure, because you were fast again. You had another race-winning car. Would you feel you may have been better compared to everyone else?
Probably if I'd used my normal set and been able to run a heat race, maybe. It took a whole lot of time to get through the field there. Just everybody was kind of running everywhere, and I just kind of had to pick off what I could when I could, and then I'd pick off 2 or 3, and the caution would come out before he completed that lap, so I'd have to give those spots back. And if I can get my PC issue here fixed before Renegades, we'll be all right.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Think Coast to Coast. Thank you for the broadcast, Marty. Everybody that runs the league. Fun to run with, both Rebels and Renegades. Good group of guys, both sides there. Thank my team, TJM, and Trent Pullman for my wrap.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Great job, and best of luck later on tonight.
Thanks, Marty.
All right, Chad Griggs rounding out the podium here, and we'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, Renegades time on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stay with us. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a
Hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Set to go here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Overhead, up top for the Knoxville Raceway, as Renegades action is just around the corner here. Brought to you by our friends from Flatline Racing Bodies. Marty Sakala with you, back on the call. Glad you could join us. So we're getting ready to go for the Renegades, and it's been a fun Renegade season to watch here so far this summer. Hollow checking in. Hope you've been well, my friend. So far right now in Renegades this season, Ross Corinna's been the dominant man with 3 wins in 6 races. But 2 wins from Chad Griggs and 1 win from Blake Chapman have led to challenges throughout 2025 summer. Qualifying is underway. Put the first driver on the racetrack, and we'll put in Patrick Spangler, the high side banger here in the 39. Knoxville Nationals weekend here in real life, so you don't want to miss out on it. To put up your best lap here in qualifying. First lap time here for Patrick Spangler at a 1570, 1572 by Grandy and Spangler and DeGood. Let's watch Joseph Grandy here. Rick Main looking pretty good. And he goes to the top. Quick time for Main, 15.689. 7 thousandths quicker than Steven Fernberg. Jesse Atkinson looking pretty good. Purple Sector 1. Time though he was great as he's down to 8th quickest. Steven Fernberg with a great lap. He's 2nd quick. Here comes John Short off for turn 4. Gavin Chatham, quick time. 15.484. 15484. He's 2/10ths quicker than Rick Main. What a lap. Terry Landis across the line. 1574, 6th quick from Landis. What a lap by the Desert Demon. Corinna 6th quick, lap 1, 1574. Chad Cote 2nd quick on lap 2 at a 1567. Much better lap. Ready to go for heat race number 1 here. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Here's the lineup here for heat race 1. Bob DeGood and Ross Corinna on the front row. DeGood in the 7, the boss in car number 10 on the outside. Row 2, Steven Fernberg in the 29 to his outside, Gavin Chatham in the 99. The third row, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513 and Jack Hitt in the 217. Final car on the grid, Brendan Lacey, the lowline master in the 114. Want to double check the entry list here this evening, see how many we got. 19 drivers, I believe, we have with us tonight, so we'll have 7, 6, and 6 for heat races tonight. So winner of this heat race will be on pole. So we wait to go here for our first heat race of the night. Talk about the schedule here for the rest of the week while we are at it. Tomorrow night you've got Old Timers Tuesday. We've got 360s at Fallujah, Trucks at Talladega. Hometown Hero, friends at How to Suck an Eye Race will have the coverage at 7 o'clock. Wednesday, Hometown Heroes at USA. Shaggy will have the coverage for the 358s and the 360s at 7. Thursday Night Thunder, small blocks, big blocks at Weedsport. Fleekster has the coverage there, Adam Flieger. And then next week, we bring back the fall-off count as we head to Lernerville Speedway for Monday Night Madness. Don't miss out on it on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. This is a stacked heat You got Corinna, you got Chatham, you got Lacey. And his sprint car's for sale too. Hey, I want to see what's on the wing. Bear with me. I'm going to go rear chase here. For sale, SGR NA, $1. Call 1-800-U-SLOW. Brandon Dittmer, you got company for the best for sale car. I hope Brandon's watching, and I'm pretty sure he's hanging out in Oskaloosa tonight with Dee and the rest of the gang. All right, set for the green here for Heat 1, winner on pole position here tonight.
Green, green, green.
Green is out. Here we go. Not the start that Bob DeGooder wanted. We know how good Ross Corinna is. He's out and away. Gavin Chatham in the second position. Steven Fernberg in fourth. Jack Hitt, Diamonds 3 and 4, trying to grab that spot away. But it's Ross Corinna that leads the opening lap. DeGood sideways off turn 2, hanging on to third. Rubs with Steven Fernberg. Somehow, both of them kept it straight. This allows both Hitt and Lacey to try and close in. Fernberg passed for third. In the wall, Jeff Barker, the 513 in the back. Right up over with Brendan Lacey as he watches a wild race here. Bob DeGood losing a lot of spots. Jack Hitt through to fourth. If we had over 24 cars, that would be the final transfer spot of the heat race. Because we have under 24, everybody makes the show. So it's Ross Corinna the leader here as we're past the halfway point. Here in this heat race, half-second advantage over Gavin Chatham. Our Rebels winner who pops the berm there and somehow didn't go around. Jack Hitt makes the pass. And Jeff Barker may in just a moment. But Barker popped the wall off in turn 2. 2 to go in this heat race. Let's watch Lacey and Hitt. Best race on track for fourth. Gentleman Jack trying to get a run underneath. But nothing doing there. Final lap in Heat 1. So it's our current leader in wins this season, the boss, Ross Corinna. Making his way off turn 4, waves, gets the checkers. Corinna on the pole tonight. Chatham second, Fernberg third, Lacey fourth, Hitt fifth, DeGood sixth, and Barker seventh. Fifth start of the season. That's 5 front rows now for Ross Corinna. Whenever he's on the front row, he wins 75% of the time this season. His worst finish, a third at Lucas Oil. Ready for Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. As Jeff Kemper is on the pole in car number 181 to his outside, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Row 2, $100,000, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Next to him, the Goose, Jack Cote in the 11. And the final row, you've got the Mayor, Steve Bixler starting 5th, and Barry Goldner in the 36 starting 6th. Lap here until we go green for Heat 2. Winner starts the outside of the front row this evening. All right, so there's the 6 cars. They're set for our second heat race of the night for the Renegades division. Green flag is out. Heat 2 underway. Cote trying to come out with the advantage here over Jeff Kemper. The Goose leads lap 1. 3 wide for 4th, though. Barry Goldner, Steven Bixler, Terry Landis. This is some good stuff here in turn 2. Cote trying to open up the gap here on Joseph Grandy. But the Goose very quick. Remember, was second quick in qualifying. A 15.98 is up by about a quarter second on Joseph Grandy. 100 grand trying to send it in. He was started 3rd. I believe, if I'm doing this correctly, was 5th quickest in qualifying. So these will be the challengers for this heat win. We're halfway home here in this heat race. Good battle for 4th. Steve Bixler, Terry Landis, and still Barry Goldner as well. Here goes Grandy challenging. Goes in deep. Hang on. Nearly hits Cote. That got close. Back on board with Grandy. Nearly biked it there in turn 2. And this race for the lead is also allowing Jeff Kemper to close in. Wing to wing off for 4. Cote still with the advantage. 2 to go. This Grandy throw it, and he does with a slide job. Cote had a jam on the binders, and Grandy to the race lead. That was a slider from hell right there. Cote's not giving up, though, that's for sure. But with 1 to go, Cote's hanging on for the 5th spot in the feature. If he loses it, he would start 8th. But Cote not done yet. Tries to send it deep. Good defense by Joseph Grandy off for 4. Checkers wave. Joseph Grandy your winner in Heat 2. Cote 2nd. Kemper 3rd. Barry Goldner 4th. Steve Bixler 5th. Terry Landis in 6th. One more heat race left to go here. It's brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, proud partners of the retreads. The Pink Panther on the pole. Jesse X in the 120s. That ain't a Pink Panther. He's got the Fresca look. To his outside, John Short in car 51. Road 2, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. To his outside, new scheme for Rick Main in car number 187. Final row here, the Bandybuilt Master, Jesse Bandy in car 49. And the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. Probably the hometown favorite here for this race tonight. That's not a pink car. He's had Barbie on for the past few weeks. That counted as pink. He's got Fresca. I don't see Fresca often. But I guess we're up to call him the Pink Fresca tonight or something. I don't know. One lap here until we take the green flag once again. Again, Jesse Atkinson, John Short, row 1. Patrick Spangler, Rick Main, row 2. Jesse Bandy and Blake Chapman. That's the field of 6 here for our final heat race of the evening in coast-to-coast action. Winner starts inside row 2 here tonight. Green flag. Spangler wanting second here from John Short as Atkinson grabs the early lead. Training Wheels Racing trying to go 1, 2, 3 wide for the third spot. Spangler edges out Rick Main at the line. Bandy caught up in the middle as well. Ooh, tough exit there for Jesse X. Allows John Short to close in, but he had to left. Allows Patrick Spangler to have second for just a moment. What a gaggle off for turn number 4. How about this shot into turn 1? Main looked low. Atkinson slammed the door right in his face. Blake Chapman to the wall. Contact off for Jesse Bandy, and one of the favorites to win. Start from the back. Nearly 4 wide for the race. Lead off for 4. And somehow Rick Main is hanging on for dear life. Spangler downstairs for the top spot. 2 by 2 as we're coming to the halfway point this time by Spangler. Out in front here in Knoxville. This looks like a drafting style race. John Short touched the berm in the center of 1 and 2. Patrick Spangler all alone downstairs. Jesse Atkinson threads the needle 3 wide. This is phenomenal with 3 laps of racing to go. And Main hangs on to second. John Short back into it in the third spot. And they race hard for second. Spangler starts to run away with that 2 to go. Slider from John Short. Main with the counter. Oh, short of the wall. Main tried to slam the door right in his face. White flag waves. Final lap underway in this heat race for Patrick Spangler, the 39. And he's pulled away, looking to start third here tonight. Main, Short, Atkinson. Ooh, Main slammed the door right on John Short. Checkers wave. Spangler your winner in Heat 3. Main second, Short third, Atkinson fourth, Chapman fifth, and Bandy sixth. So that'll do it for heat races. Preliminary action is in the books. We'll step aside. Feature time coming up next right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Final moments here before we go green for our Renegades feature here this evening. Brennan Lacey quickest, 16:161. Gavin Chatham second, 16:21. Patrick Spangler third, 16:22. Ross Corinna fourth, 16:24. And Jesse Atkinson fifth, 16:29. Checkers out here on warm-ups. Look up top here from Knoxville. Beautiful town. You got to go check it out. So many things to do in Knoxville. Outside the racetrack, you got the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. You got the Rib Shack. Amazing barbecue. I'm trying to remember what the diner was called. I can't remember what the name was. Obviously, Dingus. That's a party place. And obviously, Casey's. Casey's is good. Scooter's Coffee is good in Iowa. Gotta go have some good stuff there. All right, feature time here for the Renegades. 35 laps. Here's the night's starting lineup. On the pole, the boss, Ross Corinna, in the 10 to his outside. 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 2, you've got the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39 to his outside. Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row 3, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, next to Rick Main in the 187. Row 4, Stephen Fernberg in the 29 and Jeff Kemper in the 181. Rounding out your top 10, John Short in the 51 and Brennan Lacey in the 14. Row number 6, Stephen Barry Goldner in the 36 and the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Row 7, Gentleman Jack Hitt. He's in the 217 to his outside. Steve Bixler, the mayor, in the 75. Row number 8, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20 and Bob DeGood in the 7. Row 9, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161, and Jesse Bandy, the Bandy-Built Master, in the 49. Final car on the grid, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker, in the 513. Time for picks to win here this evening. I'm going to go with the man. You know what? I'm going to go with the man starting fourth. Give me Gavin Chatham winning both Rebels and Renegades tonight. But about to find out what happens here. Field is in turns 3 and 4. Final time tonight that it is time to shake and bake. iRacing Pace Car on pit road. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime in Knoxville. The Flatline Racing bodies, green flag waves again. Caution waves immediately. John Short, Stephen Fernberg, and Jeff Barker all got together off for turn 2. I was hearing it in the background. I had to take a sneeze. Here's what happened at the start from the middle of the pack. Fernberg and Short get together. They hook. In the inside wall, they go very hard. And different accident caused for Jeff Barker. Let's see what happened there. Watch that 513 in the back. Oh, he got into Blake Chapman, who went around. Who got into Bob DeGood, and I don't think Chapman hit anything in that accident. Very wild. On board Short here in the 51. So first caution flag waves on lap number 1 of the night. So lights are off. Coming green this time by. Original starting lineup with the exception of the drivers involved in the wreck. They'll move to the back. And we are set to take the green flag. Take two. Time to get it on once again. Corinna holding serve on this start once again. Grandy second. Chatham grabbing third here from Patrick Spangler. The line, a photo for fourth here. Spangler over Rick Main. Chatham trying to grab second here from Joseph Grandy off in turn 2. But Grandy trying a different line compared to the Knoxville Nationals champ. Trouble. Bixler and Fernberg go around. Second caution flag waves here. Let's look at what happened. Think we're right on board with Fernberg. So field trying to bunch back up here to the pace car. We'll get back to the green flag in just a matter of moments. Again, don't forget next week we are at Lernerville for Renegades action. Join us at 7 o'clock right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. If you're watching, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. That way we know who's here, who's not. Field doubled up here. After 3 laps of action, we'll watch for the aerial shot as we come back to green. John, a little bit of a glitch, I think, in the back. Routes Corinna the race leader, but Grandy pulled up to the left rear, looking for the race lead. Chad Cote losing spots. Don't know what happened to him in the 11. But he's stuck. Double wide here with Brennan Lacey and company. Same with Jesse X in that 127. Rick May, caution waves here again. Bob DeGood and Jeff Barker. See what happened here. A nice wheelie from Kemper, and that's what caused it all. DeGood had no time to react to that, and Jeff Barker comes in with nowhere to go. So we'll go single file here for the rest of this one. Hopefully we get a long run going here. So lights are off. Here's your current top 10. Ross Corinna, the leader. Joseph Grandy, second. Patrick Spangler, third. Rick Main, fourth. Gavin Chatham, fifth. Chad Cote, sixth. Jesse Atkinson, seventh. Brennan Lacey in eighth. Jeff Kemper, ninth. And Blake Chapman rounds out your top 10. Main and Spangler side by side for the third spot. Main takes advantage. He's back up to third. Can Gavin Chatham grab the fourth spot here, ripping the high side? Low side's not coming in for Patrick Spangler to his liking, maybe until later on. Oh, Grady really sideways there in the center of 3 and 4, and a great save he just made. Slider there, Rick Main, very little room, and he hangs on to the second round, nearly biking it. Chatham tries for the slider there on Grandy for third, nothing doing there. And here comes Spangler with all the momentum on the 99. Grandy at the wall once again, turn 3, starting to bite him in the dust. Blake Chapman, ever since the accident in the first lap, he's made his way up to the 8th position. Great comeback for the salesman in the 20 car. Next target, Chad Cote in the 11. One of the best battles on the racetrack here for 7th. In front of them, slide job, Joseph Grandy nearly up on the wall here. Hanging on for the bottom step of the podium. On Gavin Chatham, the 99 takes it away. And he just about biked it there in turn 2. On board Chatham. Both of them hanging on for dear life. Wow, still Corinna out in front. And now he's on the low side. Main trying to get the top to work. 0.3 of a second. Separate your top 2. The drivers that were battling for the win in the Knoxville Nationals a couple weeks ago that benefited the Steve King Foundation. A couple of top drivers going to be getting some benefits for the Steve King Foundation as well. If you follow them on Facebook too. And I don't know if this is happening this week as well, but with some of our guys in Knoxville, believe they'll be sending a check over to the Steve King Foundation. Chatham tried the slider there for second, and it almost paid off for the 99. Even while risking biking, some drivers even taking wing damage here at the same time. You see some of the wings starting to move. Another slider from Chatham. For the 99's on board. And Chatham hanging on desperately, and it's opened up the gap for Corinna to 3/4 of a second. Update you on Blake Chapman. He just passed Jeff Kemper. He's up to 6th. Next target, Patrick Spangler, 1.4 seconds ahead. And remember, that's your battle for the championship lead. Spangler, without the drops. In effect, Chapman came in 435 to 419. But starting next week, we'll be updating you on the points with the drops in effect going in. Chatham's cut the lead down on Ross Corinna, half second, and the leaders starting to approach lap traffic as we come to 15 to go. Let's look at the last 5 laps here between Corinna and Chatham, and look how quicker Chatham is. Chatham now in that dirty year of Corinna lost 100th the last time by, but the caution flag waves with 15 to go. We've got Steve Bixler upside down in 4. There's another car on its lid. I believe that may be Brennan Lacey in the 114. If not, it's Jack Hitt. We'll have to check on that. But a wild wreck has occurred here on the front straight. Saw John Shore in the background sideways. Look at Lacey. Bikes it in turn 4. Right in front of Terry Landis and a hard crash. Oh my! Wing first in the fence. And oh my gosh. Bad flip for Brennan Lacey. Steve Bixler, Jack Hitt. On board with all three of them. Watch Lacey in the 114. Biked it there in turn 3. To the again up front. Let's go, Jack Hitt. As he's trying to avoid this accident. But Brennan was just right there. How about Steve Bixler? That was ugly. There's the cushion cam. I told you how it was going to be covered up by the end of the night. There is how it looks. You can just see the top of the wing. Back to the green again. 14 laps of racing to go. Corinna's been dominant, but now he's got a challenger in Gavin Chatham. I think he'll need a log run here if he wants to grab the race lead. Main third, Spangler fourth. Don't look now. Blake Chapman in fifth and has caught the 39, the 187 with that yellow flag. Spangler trying to grab the third spot. Blake Chapman just following suit for the race lead. Gavin Chatham, different line. Corinna with the slider line. Just have the better entry. Chatham looked low there for just a moment. And there is traffic ahead. Jack Hitt, Brennan Lacey just came out of pit road. But there are a couple laps down here. Lap traffic stays at the bottom. Top 2 on the top. Chatham is right there and ready to pounce at any moment on Ross Corinna. Jack Hitt has pulled her onto pit road. He's done for the night. But now how is Brendan Lacey's car driving? Is he going to let the leaders go by or will he go at its regular pace? He's standing at the bottom. Top 2 stay up top. And look how bumpy that top looks. You got to be very careful up on that cushion. 10 laps of racing to go. It'll be 9 at the line next time by. Corinna's dominated this race so far, but now he's got a challenger. Other racing on track. Jeff Kemper, Jesse Bandy, battle for 6th. Bandy underneath there on Kemper. Slides up the hill. Kemper clears on Bandy. Now the top 2 in clean air. Check it on Blake Chapman. Hasn't been able to really close in on Patrick Spangler. The race for 4th and 3rd. Gap at 0.3 of a second though. Between the top 2. 6 laps to go at the start-finish line. Got some other racing on track here for 6th. Slide job by Jesse Bandy. He started, remember, back in the 18th spot. Looking to grab the hard charger award from Blake Chapman. Bandy up on the cushion. Hangs on to 6th for right now. 5 to go at Knoxville. Chatham in the wall for just a moment. Now he diamonds 3 and 4. Trying to gain speed on corner exit. And he gained a lot there that time. 4 laps to go. Chatham trying to set it up in 3 and 4. More traffic ahead. Terry Landis. Horrible exit from Chatham. And now Corinna knows his line. Ooh, Chatham though got up on the motocross bumps. It's going to be a tough corner there. Chatham loses some time to Ross Corina. 3 laps of racing to go. And don't look now. Rick Main is one of the quicker cars on the racetrack in third. Chatham up on the wall once again. The high side, not the place to be for right now. Chatham, another better exit there off in turn 4. 2 laps to go here. Ross Corina, the Knoxville Nationals champion, trying to win a regular race here. Chatham, though, right there, not done just yet. He has to diamond the corners if he wants to take the win from Ross Corina. He keeps her up top. Final lap underway. Gavin is right there. Ross cuts his line off. Who gets the better exit, though? It's the boss, Ross Corina. It's not over yet. Ross slams the door on Gavin Chatham. Chatham sends it up deep up top. Nearly bikes the 3-4 checkers wave. Ross Corina. Oh, he runs out of fuel. Gavin Chatham with the heist of the century. Oh, my gosh. Gavin Chatham just took it last second from the boss. Unbelievable. It came down to fuel. And Gavin Chatham sweeps the sprint car divisions tonight. Unreal finish. I thought completely it was all Corina's. And then the engine shut off of turn 4. Holy moly. Let's ride on board with Corina as he needs a push from Brendan Lacey. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Finishes second in the end. Let's listen. Guess is good. And oh my gosh, at the worst possible time. That's why most of the time he was hanging on the bottom. Because he was trying to save fuel while trying to win this race. Watch this here from turn 4. Trying everything to block, and oh my goodness. This... Oh, I think we may have just lost it. Hang on a second. This is on board with Chad. I'm coming to the checkers. Just had the lane. And, you know, Corina could have blocked Chatham to get the push to the end, but I'm going to give Corina some sportsmanship credit. He knew he was out of fuel. He gave Chatham the space, so there wouldn't be a wreck, so there wouldn't be any 2X from either of them. That's respect right there. Chatham wins by 0.4 of a second. Unbelievable. Wow. What a way to end the night. Let's get the top 3, and we're going to talk... Before we talk to the top 2, we're going to talk with our third place finisher, Rick Main. Rick, you looked like you were the fastest car in those final laps. What improved throughout the race from your perspective?
Yeah, this was our Knoxville Nash set, so, I mean, it was set up for a little slicker. I might have should have opted in maybe for the other set, because it seemed like the track didn't get super racy until they're late. So I think the track just started to come to us a little bit there.
What positives do you take away from this run tonight?
I mean, I feel like we paced Carenta and Gavin really well there, and anytime you can run with those guys, it's a big plus. And yeah, I mean, we had some good speed, just wasn't able to kind of get back up through the field the way we needed to in that heat race. So I think if we can just, you know, focus on that a little bit, we'll be able to do something maybe next week.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just the new team on the side, RMDB SimWorks. You know, me and Dylan got a new team we put together here. We're working, you know, closely with Aiden Beerline over at RTB. He's helping us, you know, get better every week. All my guys at Hinkle Homes, of course, Vapor Trail, and you know, Chase at JRB Designs got this great wrap for me.
Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, Marty.
All right, let's talk with what was the story coming to the checkered flag. Heartbreaking, Ross Carina. Heartbreaking. I've never
fuel guy's
seen.
gonna get demoted.
What's up?
The fuel guy's gonna get demoted.
Oh my gosh. How close can you get to that? I thought you were good coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, no, just came off it and sputtery she went. I looked up in the mirror and I saw Gavin coming, so I tried to shoot down to the bottom. He did tap me a little bit, I think, but I mean, obviously that's not his fault. Luckily, it just didn't take us both out. So
you know, I mentioned this as well. I give you a lot of respect there too for giving Chatham the space, so he could pass it, because you could easily, because you're going for the race win, you could easily go up and block, have Chatham push you to the finish line, but nope, you gave him the space. That's a good sport right there. I'll give you credit for that.
yeah, thank you. I mean, if you can't run the correct amount of fuel, then you probably don't deserve to win anyways, right?
I've seen some people run out of fuel and win as well in the past, so do it clean.
Yeah.
So, but hey, a great run though. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Obviously the Phantom Motorsports guys, M9 Racing Performance, Velocity Race Design. You up in the booth for putting on the broadcasts, and everybody at Coast to Coast behind the scenes making this league work. So
great job.
Flatline Racing Bodies too.
Great job tonight, Ross. Absolutely great job. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
There'll be one less field guy at the track at Lernerville next week, but he sweeps the sprint car portions, comes in clutch. Gavin Chatham, what were your thoughts at first when you were in the center of 3 and 4 compared to when you came across the line?
It's you try everything you can to pass a guy and pass him clean and have a good race. And that was a heck of a battle between me and Ross there. And I felt like we were just a little bit quicker there, and it was just trying to be patient and hit the right hit the right line and get the grip and coming off the corner there and coming to the checkers. And I knew he's going to protect, and so I tried to do a slider, and I slid up and I was going to hit the cushion and just go, and then he kind of slid up right in front of me. And then kind of had me blocked. I was like, okay, that's it was a heck of a race, and I guess this is why you never quit till you cross the checkered flag, because he started sputtering and he slowed up, and I was like, oh, did he clip the wall or something? And then he kind of pulled down there, and I mad respect for Ross there. I mean, he could have left it up there, and I could have pushed him across the line there. It would have been a little bump drafting, but mad respect to him to pull down and let it play out how it did. But and then I guess it started sputtering, and then the lane opened, and I had it to the floor at that point, and whether we beat him to the line or not, it was gonna be. I don't even know how close it was, but I'm sure it was pretty close.
Well, let me ask you this then: how much fuel did you have left?
We had about a gallon left, so I had about one more lap left in me. No, in the warm up session, I put it in, and I was reading about 37 gallons or 37 laps, and I'm like, okay, we should be good, and the track will slow up, and we'll probably end up running the bottom. The bottom always comes back in here at Knoxville, so I figured, run the bottom and it won't be any issue. And I think each caution I was checking my fuel to make sure that I was going to have enough there. But so we're pretty close, but I guess that's how you want it. You want is the least amount of weight as possible in these cars, and to go fast. And I guess they just got it right tonight. A little bit of luck.
Next week, Lernerville. How do you feel going on in?
Oh, it's my home track. I feel pretty good about Lernerville. I've been wanting to get a Renegades win there for a while now, and I think I gave one away there a season or two ago, running the bottom there, and I don't remember who passed me. We were side by side at the line, but it was a heck of a battle. So I always feel good about going back to Lernerville and being the home track for me. So hopefully we'll, we're running pretty good this year. We got a lot of speed, which is always a good thing. So hopefully just keep riding the momentum, and we'll put it in victory lane or at least a podium.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Marty, I just want to thank you for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing, all the sponsors, admin, everybody behind the scenes, everybody that helps out put this league on, allows us to come out here and race and put on a good show for everybody. I just want to thank Full Throttle Motorsports, FTM, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Vertex Graphics, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dirt Car Series. I want to thank all the sponsors and all the support we get from them. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races. And I want to thank my fans as well for coming out and watching the races as well. And give a shout out to Scotty there as well. He was helping spot for me for that race. So definitely gets an assist on this win for sure.
Great job tonight. Congratulations on 2 wins this evening. Well done.
Thanks, Marty. It definitely feels pretty good to be back in victory lane.
Absolutely. Gavin Chatham, a Renegade winner once again. Congratulations to him on the contest. So with that, we will bid you adieu, and we will talk to you all next week at Lernerville Speedway, 7 o'clock, right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Beth Filmer here at C2CRL, all the fine drivers and sponsors, and our great crew of admins. Marcus Callis saying so long. Your winners here this evening in the 358s, Brandon Templeton, and in both sprint car divisions, Gavin Chatham. So long, everyone.